The schools are supposed to be opening. Grace's school, she was supposed to go back tomorrow. Now she's not going back till the 18th. Kelle, you've got your younger kids. What's happening with you?
Well, at the moment, they're running around the house. But, yeah, I think for me, I'm fortunate that the tier that we're in, the children are going back to school tomorrow. I did have a little faux pas and took them in today. Inset day. Anyway, I'm of the opinion that I really want them to go back to school. I'm not the greatest person in terms of education. I really struggled. I was Googling everything, and my oldest is at year 4. So, you know, that shows where I'm kind of at. And I really found it really, really difficult. So for me, I want them back at school. I want the teachers doing the job that they're brilliant at. And I want them to be like socially engaged with their friends, and a routine. Because without that, everything just goes into some kind of chaos and mayhem. And I did my best during lockdown. I did my best to, educate them in the best way that I could. And we did, get into a schedule. But they are dying to get back into school and see their friends. So I really want them to go back. And, and I do have my concerns, but, in terms of my condition. But the school's measures are really, really good. And I feel safe with them being in the environment. They've put some really good measures into place.
I mean, the socialisation is really important as well, isn't it? I mean, it's quite confusing. I mean, primary schools in England will return today, but in London and some surrounding areas, they won't open until the 18th. Then we've got Scotland has different rules. Christmas holidays extended to January the 11th. Then it's online learning until the 18th. Wales, they can do what they want depending on what local council says. Northern Ireland, they'll be taught online until January the 11th. We did a Loose Women poll on this, and 78% of you agreed that schools should stay closed for now. Where do you stand on that, Linda?
Well, I think that the school teachers should be given the vaccine. I know, because they're frontline workers, they're working with the children, and if they have
they should have been in the first raft,
so that kids can go back to school, because obviously they've been at home for the whole of the Christmas and New Year, and like Lauren lives on the 3rd floor and they've got the 2 girls up there, and so she was quite upset when they weren't going back to school. I do think it's a difficult one, because obviously they're saying that the kids are spreading it and the kids are not getting that ill, touch wood, with the coronavirus. But I do think that maybe they should, the government should rethink and give the teachers the vaccine quite soon.
Yeah, that's what I thought was odd, because we knew back in March, what the situation was, and it's odd to me that they didn't anticipate this problem with the union saying it's not safe for teachers, and put teachers right at the front of the queue to then get schools open, because they are essential services, aren't they, Brenda?
They are essential services, and I get what everybody's saying. Me, myself, obviously, my children are older now, but if they were of this age, I would not be sending them back personally to school, because, I think the cases have risen since kids have gone back to school, and I've actually did some research, and according to SAGE, the virus is transmitted more readily in younger age groups. A person between the ages of 12 and 16 is 7 times more likely to bring the infection into a household. And schools are to blame for more than 1,000 outbreaks of coronavirus since they reopened in September. And the last point, secondary school children played a significantly higher role in spreading the virus between households between September and October compared to summer. And for that reason, I'm thinking, maybe the government could maybe come up with something where, everybody's got you might not have access to online stuff, but everyone's got access to a television. The same way how they can lock off the telly for party political broadcast. This is a political thing. This is something that's affecting everybody. Lock off a couple of channels from 9 a.m. till 3 p.m. or something. Sit your child in front of there. Link it into the schools. Get your satellites. They're all over in the country, all over the place. Get those satellites in, and then that's an easier way of teaching the children at home and keeping down the transmission.
I think a lot of people watching this will say, how long do we stay in this state?
2 weeks. I think there should be a national lockdown. We had it for 2 weeks.
Mental health, it's so...
Yeah, but what about as an adult, I think the mental health need... You got the kids, but if the parents aren't in a good mental state, then they're in no fit state to look after their children anyway.
And what if you've got a job that you have to hold down and suddenly your children are at home?
We lock it off for 2 weeks, like we did at the beginning. What should have happened? Close everything down. The airports, the ports, everything. Just close it all down for 2 weeks. We all adhere, and then we can enjoy summer, enjoy spring, and everybody can hug and just be back together again.
But even if we did do that, Brenda, for the 2 weeks, I totally hear what you're saying. I still don't think we'd be in a position to go back to what you feel is normal. I still don't think that's going to be enough
It's never going to be normal.
I think
It's never going to be
I
normal
think what
again.
you said, Linda,
But
about
we need a
just
longer term plan to be able. We need a longer term plan than just
Absolutely.
locking down for 2 weeks.
I think
But it does
Linda's
need to be
thing
slowed
about
down somehow.
vaccinating teachers would have been, you know, right at the beginning would have been the smartest option.
Definitely.